Hey, everybody, and welcome into another edition of For the Love of the Logo, where I, Annabelle Watson, and Ashley Joy rate logos in certain ways, phrases, whatever you may want to call it. We're back with another edition of the show. Annabelle, Ashley, how are we today?
I'm pretty good. I'm excited to talk about some logos. It's a nice kind of chilly night, and what better to do than talk about some logos? It's a pretty fun topic to me, but I'm ready to get going.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here. We have some great logos lined up. We have very unique categories, and we're going to give our unsolicited, honest opinion on all of them. I'm excited to be here.
So, folks, for the agenda tonight, we've got a little switch up for the show for you. So, instead of focusing on just one sort of category, a certain type of brand or anything, us three are going to go through different brands, pick our favorite, kind of debate a bit on which logos are our favorite. And then towards the end of the show, we're going to pick one logo each where we think, hey, screw that. We got to get a fix. Let's work on that, see if we can do something different and why. So, guys, we're going to start out with food/restaurants, our restaurant logos. It's a very interesting topic here. You got so many different chains, so many different restaurants that some good logos, some bad logos, but we are focusing on that number one logo today, our favorite. I'm going to start, and it's KFC. Kentucky Fried Chicken is my favorite fast food logo, personally, restaurant logo as well, simply because of Colonel Sanders. He's iconic, the old legend. You kind of know where your food's coming from, that old country fried KFC, the country fried cooking. It's just everyone knows who Colonel Sanders is, where your food's coming from. He's my number one, just a smile on his face, ready to give you that good food. Annabelle?
I'm going to keep going with the chicken. My favorite is Chick-fil-A. My thing about Chick-fil-A, their logo is very simple, but they have that little subtle nod to the chicken with the little beak and I don't even know what it's called, the red thing on a chicken's head. Not sure what it's called, but it's part of the logo. Um, but it's just that nice red cursive, and it's super inviting, which is the whole vibe of Chick-fil-A. You have the workers saying, like, my pleasure, being super nice. And I think that's what makes a great logo, is if the logo fits the brand's vibe and their customer service.
All right, I'm going to close out this category with my personal favorite, which would have to be Starbucks. It is a universally known logo. No one can see this logo and not know exactly where they got that cup from. I think that the green and the mermaid is just really different. I think it ties into the whole just kind of hipster coffee vibe, and you can't go wrong with it. It's been around forever, and I think wherever you go, you always feel safe when you see that Starbucks logo.
Folks, if you agree, disagree with us on those restaurants, feel free to hit us with a comment after the show. Let's move into our college segment. Now, us as college students, we take a bit of pride in this. So for me, I'd love to go with my home, our home here at Fordham, but I can't. Not a good enough logo. I'm going to go with the Kansas Jayhawks, and here's why. It's fun. It looks cool. He's a cool looking dude. You can kind of understand what it is, unlike some other schools. Fordham's logo is kind of that Jesuit value, but they don't have a ram anywhere. So you don't know you're the Fordham Rams. You know the Jayhawk is the Kansas Jayhawks. Good colors, good vibe to it. That's my pick. Ashley, we'll start with you now. What is your college logo pick?
Now I'm going to go up to our friends on the upper West Side on to Columbia University. I really love this logo. I said yogo, but it's a logo. I really like the incorporation of the crowns. I think that that is very on par with a very well-renowned, well-known Ivy University. I liked the different use of the colors. I think the font is really simple. I like that they have the Latin written towards the bottom emblem there. And I think that you just can't go wrong with it. It looks very royal, it looks very posh, and I'm here for it. What do you think, Annabelle?
Well, Nick, I would love to agree with you as a big college basketball fan. I love that Jayhawk logo. I have a t-shirt with the Jayhawk playing basketball. It's very fun and cartoony, but I have to go with the logo of the University of Miami, that orange and green. It's just universally recognized. It's simple, but everyone knows the logo. And because it's so simple, there's so many things that have come along with the logo. So you have the U hand gesture, and the colors are different. You don't see that normal navy blue or maroon that a lot of colleges do. It's very interesting colors, and it's just one of my favorites. It makes me jealous of University of Miami students.
So that Jayhawk shirt you have means nothing compared to an orange and green U.
I guess so. I guess so.
All right. All right. Well, there's my rebuttal for that one. Again, we'll see. Leave what you got for us in the comments. Folks, you are listening to this week's episode of For the Love of the Logo. I'm Nick Fada, Ashley LaJoy, and Annabelle Watson are with me as well. We're going to move into topic number 3, car brands. Now, car brands are one of my favorite types of brands, and I'm going to be a little biased, I guess, here, going with my Italian roots. The Ferrari logo is my favorite logo. The horse means power, literally horsepower. If you want to think in those terms, a Ferrari sure has a lot of that. The red, white, and green, they show the Italian culture, the heritage. I just think it's the color scheme, the horse, the power, the name as well, the font, everything kind of flows through that logo. I think it's just cool. And obviously, Ferrari is one of the coolest car companies out there. I don't think it really can be beat. So that's my pick. Annabelle, what do you got?
So my pick is kind of a newer brand, I guess, Tesla. Their logo is very futuristic. It's very edgy, and I think it fits with the whole vibe of the company. You know, they have those electric powered cars that do all these new futuristic things. So, like I said during the Chick-fil-A segment, I think that a logo has to fit with the vibe of the brand, and they do exactly that. Tesla, they're reaching out into things other than cars, like artificial intelligence and going into space and all this crazy stuff. And when I see that, it looks like something out of a sci-fi movie, and I think the logo fits perfectly with that.
I totally agree with you there, Annabelle. I think Tesla has some great edginess, some futuristic vibes going on right there. But I do think we need to bring it back to the classics. We got to look at the Mercedes-Benz logo. It is just the classic, pristine, stainless steel 3-tri symbol that everyone in the world can recognize. I'm a little biased. My parents, they got some wheels. And every time I get in one, you're in a Mercedes, and you got the leather, you got the navigation system. And I feel like when you see the logo, you just automatically know that you're in a luxury vehicle, and it just gives you that sense of elevated road rep. So I find it timeless, and I think that it's going to be around for a very long time.
Okay. I mean, for our listeners, they know I usually like to debate and call you guys out for some picks that I don't agree with, but I'm okay with these ones for a difference now. I guess that's my take on it. But before we wrap up the show, guys, we said we'd do a little workshop. We each now have one logo that we think stinks. It's got to be fixed. Hopefully these companies, brands, whatever, decide to make a change. So we'll do it really quick now. My pick is the Cleveland Browns. It's an orange helmet. So it's boring, first off, but it's also orange. It's not brown. They got that one brown streak. I don't really know what a Cleveland Brown is, but that needs to be changed. I don't think I need to explain much more.
My pick, I'm going back to the cars, Jeep, which is basically just Jeep written in a very basic font. And for me, the brand is so iconic. I drive a Jeep at home, and it's just super basic. I wish I could get it on a t-shirt or something, but I don't want just that plain font. So I think if they elevated it, put some kind of image instead of just the words, I think that could really take it to the top.
I totally agree with you there, Annabelle. I think it's just too outdated. A lot of these brands and logos just don't update anything from like the 80s or when they originally came out with these companies. So one of my least favorites, and I'm sure a lot of people's least favorite just because of the beef with the company, would be Verizon. It lacks total originality. They just threw red wherever they wanted, threw a red check on top, and called it a day. You can't tell me that the person in there who was designing this spent any more than 5 minutes on it. Everyone already has a headache with their customer service. Literally, there's a play written on it. But the logo itself does nothing for the company. And when you see a logo, that's the first thing you're going to associate with the company. And when it lacks this much originality, it's going to turn customers away for sure.
And folks, that is just about going to do it for our show here this week. We have had a pleasure talking. Make sure, again, if you agree, disagree, leave a comment below. This has been an honor for us to do. Always fun talking. I'm Nick Fada for Ashley LaJoy and Annabelle Watson. Thank you very much for listening to 2 for the love of the logo. We'll see you next week.